Hi, welcome to the independent practice for lesson 14.1, and it's all about fractions and decimals and interchanging them, changing one to the other. So the first part here, 7/16 inch long bolt is used in a machine. What is the length of it as a decimal? And that's just cowboys and horses. You just let me zoom in a little bit here. So it's really just 7 divided by 16. And if we did that long division, I have that over here. Here it is. It's just long division. What, 7 goes on the inside, 16 goes on the outside, and you just long divide, 0.4375. And that's what we have here. I will remove this, 0.4375 inches. And this one here, turning this number right here into a decimal, it's 2 point and then 4 divided by 5. And 4 divided by 5 is 0.8. So it would be 2.8. And we have a heartbeat takes that many seconds, 8/10 of a second. How many seconds is that written as a fraction? Well, that is 8. That's 8 over 10, which simplifies to 4/5, right? Because 0.8, that 8 is in the tenths place, so that means it's 8/10, which simplifies to 4/5. The next one, the average score on a biology test was 72.1 with the 1 repeating right there, right? The average score using a fraction. Okay, so we have the 72. Now, if we have zero point 0.1, just the 0.1, let me show you something. 0.1, that is 1/10. Yeah, but if you have 0.1 with a bar over it, that is 1/9. And to show you that, I could just simply just explain that here, where you have if I have 1/9, that is 9 going into 1. So I'm going to show you how we can go from 1/9 back over to this. And then that would show you that they're equal. 9 does not go into 1, but it goes into 10, and 9 goes into 10 one time, and that's 9. And then that result is 1, bring down a 0, and 9 goes into 10. Again, one time, and it's just going to go on forever. And so that's how we get the 0.1 repeating. See, so quite simply, that would be 0.1 repeating is 1/9. So 0.1 repeating, let me erase this here. So we have 72.1 repeating is 72 and 1/9. I believe that's what is going to show here. Yeah, that's it. Next, an artist wants to frame a square painting with an area of 400 square inches. She wants to know the length of the wood trim that is needed to go around the painting. Let's take a look at this. I'm going to zoom out here. Okay, fine. If x is the length of one side of the painting, what is the equation that you can set up to find the length of the side, and how many solutions does it have? Well, this is our equation. So the area is 400. So that means to get the area, you have to multiply one side by the other. So that would mean that this side is x and this side is x. And x times x is known as x squared. And x squared is our area 400. Now, what number times itself is 400? Well, 20 times itself is 400. And I don't know. They say that the equation has two solutions, and that could be true because 20 times 20 is 400, and negative 20 times negative 20 is 400. So I guess it does have two solutions, positive and negative, and that's what they say. They plus or minus. They call this plus or minus 20. So plus or minus 20, plus 20 is one solution, negative 20 is the other solution. But it doesn't make sense. And here they said, all the solutions that you found make sense in the context of the problem? Well, no, because okay, fine. this could be 20, and this one could also be 20. Yes, but how could you have a negative 20 inches or whatever it is? Yeah, how could you have a negative 20 inches? So, no, it doesn't make sense to have a negative 20 for an answer, just a positive 20 in the context of this problem. So x equals 20 makes sense, but negative 20 doesn't because painting cannot have a length of negative 20 inches. What's the length of the wood trim need to go around the painting? So in this one here, the length of the wood trim need to go around the painting, so that'd be 20, 40, 60, 80. So that should be 80 inches. Next, solve each equation for x, write your answers as radical expressions, then estimate to one decimal place if necessary. Okay, so what number times itself is 14? We have, oops, hold on. Well, we would have that, well, really in a calculator, if you put 14 and then this is the square root sign right there, which is asking what times itself is 14, you get about 3.7. So that means about 3.7 ends up being irrational. And there you go. So this one, what times itself is 144? Oh, that's easy. 12 times 12 is 144. So the square root of 144 is 12. Now, once again, we would have 12 times 12 is 144, and negative 12 times negative 12 is positive 144. So you can have two answers for that one. Ooh, what times itself 3 times is 1331? Well, that's called the cube root, and that is 11. 11 times 11 times 11. So what that means is 11 times 11 times 11 is 1,331. So what number cubed? 11 is. And what number squared is 29? I don't know exactly because 5 times 5 is 25 and 6 times 6 is 36. So I would guess 5.4 is like somewhere in between 5 and 6. And let's see here. Hey, I got it. Nailed it. 5.4. It wasn't exactly in the middle. It was just a little bit less in the middle. So there you go. Okay. And we'll move on to the others here. We have this one. To find the square root of 15, Bo found 3 squared equals 9 and 4 squared equals 16. And he did that because he's looking at 15 is between 9 and 16. He said that since 15 is between 9 and 16, square root of 15 must be between 3 and 4. He thinks a good estimate for square root of 15 is 3 plus 4 divided by 2. So taking the average of those two is 3.5. Is his estimate high, low, or correct? Well, I think his estimate's low because 15 is pretty darn close to 16. It's not right in the middle of 9 and 16. So see, I think it's going to be a little low. And the publisher says his estimate's low because 15 is very close to 16, so square root of 15 is very close to square root of 16, or 4. A better estimate would be 3.8 or 3.9. Next, what is a good estimate for the solution to the equation x cubed equals 95? How did you come up with your estimate? Some number cubed is 95. Well, 4 times 4 times 4, I'm thinking if I did 4 cubed, so I'll just write here, 4 cubed is equal to 64. I happen to remember that. 4 times 4 is 16 times 4 is 64. And 5 cubed is 125, which is 5 times 5, which is 25. And 25 times 5 is 125. So I'm thinking, looks like it's pretty much in the middle. I'm thinking 4.5. 4.5. So I'm going to erase this stuff here. And let's see what we got here. Hey, 4.5. 64, yep. 125, yes. And because 95 is about halfway between the two, we'll try 4.5. And 4.5 times 4.5 times 4 times 4.5 is 91.125, which is a good estimate. So if you put 4.5 into a calculator, multiply it by itself 3 times, you would get that. And we have more. This is the volume of a sphere is 36 pi feet cubed. What is the radius of the sphere? Use the formula blah to find your answer. Let's see now. So the volume is 36. And actually, what it is 36 pi. So let's make that 36 pi is equal to 4 pi r cubed divided by 3. I like writing it that way. It means the same thing, but that's taken right from here. Right from here. So I'll bring that out, and now I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out what r is. I'm trying to isolate the r, find out what the radius is. And I multiply by 3 here, and that is 108 times pi equals 4 times pi times the radius cubed. And then I would divide by 4. Divide that by 4, and that's 27 pi equals pi times the radius cubed. And I divide both sides by pi, and I get 27 is equal to the radius cubed. And so what number to the third power is 27? Well, that's 3. So the radius is equal to 3. And there you go. That is our answer right here. 3 feet. Okay. Fine. So let's draw some conclusions here. Can you find the cube root of a negative number? Okay. If so, is it positive or negative? And explain your reasoning. Yeah, you can take the cube root of a negative number. Like you can take the cube root of negative 27. And that's asking, oh, a little 3 in there. That's asking what times itself 3 times is negative 27. And I could say, well, negative 3 times negative 3, that is 9. And then take that times negative 3 again. And there you have the negative 27. So the cube root of negative 27 would be negative 3. So there you go. Yeah, you definitely can. And what the publisher has to say is this. Yes, the cube root of a negative number is negative because a negative number cubed is always negative. And a non-negative number, which is like a positive number, cubed is always non-negative. Yeah. Anyway, non-negative. When they say non-negative, they mean positive. So a positive number cubed is always positive. I don't know. Non-negative. So crazy. So the next one is evaluate and compare the following expressions: the square root of 4 over 25 and the square root of 4 over square root of 25. Blah, 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 blah. All this stuff. Use your results in making conjecture about the division rule for square roots. Yeah. Well, the square root of that one is 2/5, and the square root of this one is 2/5. So it doesn't matter. You can do it all in one shot, or you can do it separately. You would get the same answer. Just as you would do on, I gotta erase that there. So I'll do it in a different color, blue. So this is 4/9, and this one is 4/9. Again, you could do it separately or the same thing. This would be 6/7, right? Because the square root of 36 is 6 and the square root of 49 is 7. And so this is what the publisher has to say. So in the end, the square root of a over the square root of b is the same thing as the square root of a over b. And the square root of a times the square root of b is the same thing as the square root of a times b. Yeah, see, you can do it all together or you can do it separately. It doesn't really matter. You get the same answer. And finally, the difference between the solutions to the equation x squared equals a is 30. What is a? Show your correct answer. So let's see. What is a? So if x squared equals a is 30, Well, we can see here, we can reveal what the publisher had to say about this, and it's 225. The solutions to x squared equals a are plus and negative, plus or minus 15, and 15 minus negative 15 is 30. So what they're saying is this right here, this has two solutions, and the difference between those two solutions is 30. So those two solutions are 15 and negative 15, because the difference between 15 and negative 15 is 30. And what is the square of 15? The square of 15, 15 times 15 is 225. So that's what's happening with that one. There you go. That was a funky question right there. But that's all I got for this. Thanks for watching.